Good evening, friends. Hey, we're live again tonight. This is episode 103. We set out a while back to go live for 100 nights, and we just said we're going to blow right through that and continue to go live every night. So we're going to continue to do that until it just doesn't work anymore for whatever reason. But one of the things we wanted to talk about tonight, we talked about this in a more generic way, I guess, last night with regards to being able to earn interest on your cryptocurrencies with BlockFi. Today, honestly, I was looking and I have a Voyager account and I've been using it to get VeChain. And I noticed today that you can actually earn interest on Dogecoin. So obviously, had I been searching for interest on Dogecoin, VeChain is not the only one, or I'm sorry, Voyager. The Voyager app is not the only place where you can earn interest on Dogecoin. I believe you can on Binance. Binance will say it's the only certified exchange where you can earn that. I don't really know what that means, but for many of us in the United States, Binance is not available to us. And so, Voyager it is a place where you can do that. Now, I will say, and then we're going to dive into this a little bit deeper, but the Voyager app is exactly that. It's an app, so they do not have a web-based platform. I don't know if that's in the future, if that's on their to-do list. I'm not really sure. So you do have to use Voyager on the app. One other thing I noticed, and I went and searched this today as well, and you can find a lot of people asking the same thing on Reddit and other places. That is, how can I transfer my Dogecoin out to either another exchange or to a wallet, or how do I transfer Dogecoin in? And it looks like you can't do either one of those right now. You can buy Dogecoin on Voyager. So I guess it's a lot like Robinhood. At this point in time, Robinhood has at least made it clear that they're working on a wallet, which would obviously be for not only Dogecoin, but for, I would assume, all of the cryptocurrencies that you can buy on the Robinhood platform. But Voyager does have a list of crypto that you can, deposit, if you will, or withdraw, take it, transfer it somewhere else. But Dogecoin is not on that list, so stay tuned, and I'll be continuing to look at that. But if you're a hodler, then it shouldn't necessarily matter, because as long as you're, for one, if you're wanting to make interest on your Dogecoin and you're going to hold on for dear life, then that really covers two things. You can't earn interest on a coin that you have in your wallet, not that I'm aware of anyway. And also, when you get ready to sell it, you can't really sell it out of your wallet. So you've got to bring it onto an exchange for either one of those two things. So, maybe it's not that big a deal. And if you're holding on for dear life, at some point, you probably have a selling point, at a point where you want to sell. So you can sell it on Voyager. Now, the only drawback to any of this is if you want to, send Dogecoin to people directly for whatever reason, tip them, pay them, those kinds of things, then you may want to have another account somewhere else where you maybe keep less of your Dogecoin there. But that would be one approach, and that way you can earn interest on your Dogecoin on the Voyager app. I do have a link in the description. It's a service that I actually have. I do have the Voyager app on my phone, and like I said, I mainly got it at this point in time to be able to buy VeChain without any transaction fees. And by the way, I think VeChain is something that you should take a look at. It is a primarily a supply chain led project. Lots of different ways that they're addressing supply chain problems, if you will. Solving problems with their with the VeChain solution. So check that out. But do want to go real quick before we look at the Voyager app and show the kind of the state of affairs with the large cap cryptocurrencies, and then we'll get into Voyager real quick as well. So got a link basically, or a want to go ahead and show you the website here for Voyager. It's all it is informational. Again, you can't trade and all of that on the Voyager website, but I did want to show you their interest program. So earn interest on your crypto in the Voyager app. How it works. Let your crypto work for you. Okay, so let's get to the bottom line here. This is as of May, at least. I believe that's May of this year. So we are 2 days into May 2021. And by the way, I'll mention that in a minute. So you've got USDC, which that's pretty good. I actually also am earning interest on USDC at Voyager. I brought over a certain amount of money to be able to get VeChain, and then I left some in USDC, which is a stable coin. I'm not sure how many of you watching this are aware of what stable coins are, but stable coins, especially those, I'll speak to those that are US dollar based. They're basically pegged 1-for-1 to the US dollar, and some of the common ones that I'm familiar with are USDC and USDT, and so again, you can earn 9%. You can earn 6.25% on Bitcoin. 5.25% on Ethereum. Polkadot 8%, and there's also minimum balances that you want to look into. Some of these others I'm not familiar with. I have heard of Dash, Cardano. That's another one I would highly recommend you look into. Link, I've heard of as well. Litecoin, some of the, and here's Doge right here. So you do have to keep 5,000 Doge in the account. That's the minimum amount, and you can earn 2% interest. So I think that's pretty cool, actually. So let's also look at, as I mentioned, kind of the top. We're going to look at the top 6, because today, Dogecoin, again, just like it was yesterday, and I think maybe even the day before that, it was in position 6 with regards to the large cap, and I'm going to pull that up. So Bitcoin, of course, no surprise that it's number one. Bitcoin has been on a really nice rally today. I sat and watched it for probably an hour off and on while I was watching TV, watching it go up to 58 and change. It's now retreated a little bit, but it has been on a really good run today. And another thing I will just mention real quick, since I'm talking about Bitcoin, and then we'll move on. And this is something that we will probably talk about later when I have time to prepare for it and talk about it with a little bit more data ready, I guess. But the Bitcoin super cycle, as it's called, is something I would suggest you Google and read through it. I think a lot of people believe that Bitcoin, that they've missed out on Bitcoin. I know most people know this, but don't lose sight of the fact that you can buy fractional coins, right? So, it would be, a lot of these coins would be unreachable, obviously, to lots of people if you couldn't buy fractional coins. This super cycle, there are people that are saying, and it's not just one, and then I'm going to get off of Bitcoin, but there are, people, again, like I like to say, smarter than me, with more time than me, and with more resources than me, that are believing 100,000 this year, maybe even up to 200,000 this year, Bitcoin. Imagine just owning fractional coins of that, and what you could make on it, up to $1 million, within a couple of 3 years. So, I actually think that, I would honestly think about working very hard to be able to buy at least one Bitcoin before it hits 70,000. That would be a goal of mine, because then everything after that is just going to be a crazy ride. That is, for most people, life-changing money. So as much as we love Dogecoin, as much as we think it's amazing, it is not the only way that you can make life-changing money. If you're quote unquote in the middle class or something along those lines, it doesn't matter. Regardless, Bitcoin is Ethereum as well, but we're not gonna talk about that today. But Ethereum has been on an amazing ride as well. I know I don't have to tell everyone that it went down along with Bitcoin, several days ago, and it has made an amazing recovery. All-time highs. It is about $400, I think, above its previous 52-week high, and of course, Bitcoin is on its way up. Okay, so Dogecoin, again, our story for the night. It's in position number 5. I'm just now noticing that. It's actually in position number 5. That's amazing. It's only one position away from being in the 4th spot again. So 49 billion in market cap. XRP continues to amaze me in the sense that it's still doing very well, even though they're dealing with the SEC. So there are a lot of people that obviously still believe in XRP and the contribution that it's believed that it will make to the blockchain and decentralized, all the things related to decentralized blockchain. So Dogecoin, again, number 5, we're going to drill down here and look at a few things. So we're talking about within a 24-hour period, it's had a range of 39 to 36. It actually reached 40 cents sometime here not too long ago. It's possible that it was just a little bit further back than 24 hours. I don't know exactly which 24 hours this captures, but nonetheless, Dogecoin has been on an amazing upward trend since the 28th of March. And I'm going to pull up the graph here in a minute. We're going to look through that a little bit. But 2 o'clock in the morning, Central Standard Time, 2 a.m. Central Standard Time, 4:28, which was Tuesday, I believe, would have been an optimal time to either get into Dogecoin for the first time or to add to your portfolio more, because it was at about 25 cents at that point in time, and it has almost doubled within a matter of 5 days or whatever that is. So pretty incredible. One can only imagine where it's going to go, the next several days leading up to the much anticipated appearance of Elon Musk on Saturday Night Live, May 8th, which is Saturday. It's going to be interesting to see. So let's look at the historical data just for a brief moment. I always like to look at this and see how we compare the last several days, right? So if we go back, like I mentioned, the 28th of April, I think I said March, but the 28th of April, it was as low as 25.62. And again, as you can see today, May 2nd, it's been as high as 40 cents. So it's only, a few pennies or less than a penny away from having gone up 20 cents, which is pretty incredible. Again, if we look at volume, it's really interesting that, volume, we had a volume of 14 billion on the 28th. With all that volume, we still didn't get anywhere close to where we were today at 40 cents. And our volume at this point in time is 8 billion. But again, I don't know how long this 24-hour, where this 24-hour period starts and where it ends. But we're about to, it's almost midnight here, Central Standard Time here in Texas. It's 11:52, so it'll be midnight here pretty soon. I think that's when that kicks over and moves into the next day into May 3rd. So, wanted to also just briefly look through here and show you some articles that have been cropping up and get your thoughts, your ideas, and we are going to get to the comments here in just a minute. But Benzinga, I think, is a really good source of a lot of really good information on Dogecoin and cryptocurrencies in general, all the things. But could Elon Musk's Saturday Night Live hosting cause a bump in Tesla or Dogecoin or both? A lot of us don't think about Tesla so much because, for one, the stock is so crazy expensive. And we'll pull it up here in a minute and look at where it closed on Friday. Obviously, it doesn't trade over the weekend. But, it's interesting to think what might happen. And if you'd like to share what you believe, I think there are many that believe that could be, the only other catalyst other than just normal market conditions could be, the catalyst that gets it to $1. Who knows? Again, that's when you're like, I wish that I had, and maybe you did, but I wish that I had loaded up on, this past Tuesday on April 28th when it was basically at a quarter. So an appearance by the executive and publicly traded company on CNBC or another business-related news channel can sometimes move the share price fast. If the show airs outside the trading hours, it can sometimes have less of an effect. But, of course, we're dealing with cryptocurrency here, which is traded 24/7. Now, Tesla stock obviously isn't, and this is going to be on a weekend. So, I'm thinking it's probably going to impact Tesla less. I honestly don't see it affecting Tesla stock much at all, but Dogecoin, yes. That raises the question of what kind of impact the upcoming Elon Musk appearance on Saturday Night Live might have. Not just on his company's share price, I don't think any, honestly, the following Monday, but also on cryptocurrency trading during the airing of the show. It's going to be really interesting. I think we will definitely go live. Maybe not during that time, but because, we will probably go live during the airing of that, and just kind of that way we can capture for posterity what might happen. And obviously, many of you will want to be possibly actually watching the show. I can watch that on a replay or some kind of thing like that, but I think it would be really cool to be live streaming and capturing potentially, again, history being made with regards to Dogecoin. Now, I'm going to get to the comments like I mentioned in just a minute, but I'm also really curious what people think the new floor is. In other words, where do you think, what point do you think is the new low? Is it 30 cents? Think it could go back to 25? I'm just curious what you think. So let's look and see what kind of comments we've got here. Okay, we're going to continue going. So, I really want to briefly talk about one other thing tonight that just hit me, and this is not as much related to Dogecoin, but it is related to the greater cryptocurrency space, and I think it also, it squarely is related to anyone that has a business of any size, shape, or form. I actually got to thinking today as I was mowing that, as Bitcoin, in this particular case, Bitcoin, and maybe to a certain extent Ethereum, but as Bitcoin is being embraced by institutions, by large corporations, by, millionaires and billionaires on an individual level, institutions are, making it available to their like Goldman Sachs, making it available to their wealthiest of clients, and companies like Tesla and MicroStrategy, mutuals. One of the mutual companies and a number are putting Bitcoin on their balance sheet, and there's a reason for that. They believe obviously that it is a store of value, and Tesla sold I think it was 100 million. Yeah, I believe it was 100 million here just a few days ago. Sold $100 million worth of Bitcoin. And of course, I think people like to beat up on Tesla anyway, but they gave Tesla and Elon Musk a super hard time for that. But there's two interesting things about that. If I have my numbers right, I believe that sale, that one sale alone, made them more money than they made off making cars in the previous year, if I have my numbers right. But it was pretty incredible. And Elon Musk's response, and whether it was really the reason why or not, it's actually valid and true. Elon Musk said that he was testing the liquidity of the Bitcoin. So they made a profit, and he still has a large quantity of the asset on Tesla's balance sheet. And so, not only does it have, an incredible, not only does it represent an incredible hedge against inflation, a gold 2.0, as many people are calling it, or a digital gold, it also is a form of liquidity. It also becomes, for many, a way to take out loans that have to be maybe denominated, let's say, in US dollars or a particular currency. And many companies like BlockFi and others, that's why they can pay you interest on your cryptocurrency, because they're basically the ones loaning out either that crypto or US dollars or some other currency denomination to companies, institutions that are needing to make loans. So the point is, and Mark Cuban made this point not too long ago on one video where I saw him on, but it becomes a something that you can use basically as collateral, right, for loans. In many cases, it can be used to acquire assets. So let me get to my point, and I'll make it fast, but it occurred to me that, again, a business of any size should consider, working out situations where they can take Bitcoin or Ethereum or a number of others, and then give, one thought is to give their customers a discount, right, for paying them in a cryptocurrency. And I think in this particular case, uniquely, Bitcoin, obviously, for things, day in and day out, things like that. Sure, Dogecoin, sure, Ethereum and others. But if you're looking for the ultimate asset and, bring on your books, and the other thing is, since that's an asset versus income, I think there potentially could be some tax benefits. I actually need to research that further, but I can see a situation where if you could bring in a significant amount of money into your business in the form of an asset versus income, and then pay long-term capital gains on that, if you can hold on to it for a year, at least a year, then I got to think that could potentially could work out very well for you from a tax perspective, and not only from a tax perspective, but obviously that will appreciate over time, or it should. And you can also earn interest on that through your business as well on a number of platforms. And it just seems like a win-win. So I do want to encourage you to think about that. And then the one other thing I want to encourage my listeners to look into is the thought of setting up a college fund if you have kids, or maybe you're grandparents and you have grandkids and you want to, in one way or another, contribute to your grandkids' college fund, assuming they're going to go to college, or maybe you don't know, but highly recommend you look at setting aside some money that you can basically do without, if you will, and invest that in cryptocurrency and just pay the 20%. The long-term capital gains at some point, pay the 20%. And the other cool thing with that, again, if you put it in something where it's not only appreciating but earning interest, you can take out, if it was set up mostly for college, you can take out just what you need ever so often, convert that to US dollars, pay the college bill, whatever. And who knows, one of these days, it'll be interesting to see the first college that accepts crypto for tuition. That's going to be really cool. So I do want to welcome you back tomorrow night in advance. Come back for episode 104. We're going to continue to talk about just the crypto space in general. Also want to show, actually, before I end, I do want to bring up the Dogecoin chart, and I also want to bring up the Bitcoin chart for just a brief moment. But here's Dogecoin, and if you'll see what I was talking about back on the 28th, it was at 2:05 in the morning. This is the 1 hour cycles. This is the 1 hour chart. So during that hour, between 2:05 and 3:05, basically, it had a low, of 25.77. It went as high as within that hour up to 29. So that would have been for now, basically, that would have been the best time to buy for a good little while. And as you can see, it has been on basically an upward trend, that whole time. And then, of course, we reached a high yesterday at 8 o'clock, I guess it would be, of 40 cents. So pretty exciting, and kind of retreated for a little bit. It has not hit 40 again, but it's been in the 38 range, 37 range for quite a while. Interesting thing is going to be to see what it does later tonight, or I should say early this morning, and then into the regular part of the day and the rest of the week. Who knows? But, again, if we had a crystal ball and could either look back or look forward, again, it would have been really good to have known where this was going and gotten some more, or gotten in for the first time on the 28th. Now, one other thing that I will say, and I promise this is the last thing I'm going to say, but I do think you want to be careful about buying in when it's on a crazy upward and fairly fast upward move. You just want to be careful that you don't buy at its high and then there's a dip. Now, of course, if you're in it for the long run, sure, but almost everything has a high and then a dip. The one part, timing-wise, that's hard to know always is, how far down is it going to dip, and should you just get in now? And the fear of missing out, or FOMO, is a real deal. I was actually watching Cryptos R Us, George, a YouTuber that was talking about some altcoins that he got into, and he was saying that he got into them, FOMO, so fear of missing out, and I don't honestly even remember now what they were. Well, one of them was Bake, so BAKE, may want to look into that. It looks like it's pretty hard to find right now, but apparently they are they're really tearing it up with regards to NFTs, non-fungible tokens. So briefly going to look at Bitcoin, just because we're here. Look at how this has taken a crazy run. So again, well, in this case on the 29th at 52, it's been as high as, and that was on the 30th, 58.5. And then if I go to the 30-minute, or let's actually go to the 1 minute, because tonight, this is where I was hoping to actually sell some and take some profit at 58.301, but I had a limit order, a limit sell, I should say, on Robinhood, and I watched it on Webull, actually, the bid and the ask, and I watched the actual ticker change multiple times. After I had my limit sell placed, it went past 58.3. So 58.3 was where my limit sell was programmed in and it did not get executed. So I don't know what happened. I just don't know. But nonetheless, again, I missed out on that, and it's down now to 57.8. But who knows? It could take another run up as well. So that's actually where we're going to leave it tonight. Monday will be again episode 104. I hope you'll come back. If you're watching this on the replay, come down in the comments. Let me know what you'd like for us to talk about. I want to take this, and this being cryptocurrency, the stock market, all of that, and bring it and kind of hopefully merge it with a number of the other things that I'm interested in, and make it something that should be thought of as an everyday thing that's real, that's viable, that can be at least a part of your investment strategy. Doesn't have to be. You may not be, it may not be something you want to be involved in, but if you're wanting to learn, or if you are already fairly well exposed to it and just want to have dialogue, share your thoughts, all those kind of things, I think this is a place to be. So I will ask you to share this out. Would love to. We're literally 6 subscribers away from getting to 500. We're working as hard as we can, doing all we can to get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. That way we get to at least apply for the YouTube Partner Program. I'm going to assume that we will have no problem getting in if we reach those milestones. And so if you guys can, share it on Twitter, or like us on Twitter, that would also be great. And I'm going to put this overlay on for a minute so you can see up in the top right where it says Shane Trammell. You can follow me, if you would, on Instagram and on Twitter there. Obviously, subscribe if you haven't here on YouTube. Click the notification bell, like, and give us a comment. That would be great. And then the last thing, we're giving away a watch. We're going to, the giveaway is going to, the entry into the giveaway is going to be going on until this coming Friday, and I'll show you the watch here real quick. So this is the watch. It's from Flex Watch, and I think they really got a cool company. And we've got a black one they're going to be giving away, or a white one another time. So when you win, whoever wins can choose either the white or the black, and then whichever one's left, we'll give that away another time. But go to Strammel, that's STRAMMEL.com in this particular case, not info. So strammel.com/flex, FLEX. That is a landing page. That is my email system that I use, ConvertKit, and you can get that free, by the way, if you want to do your own email marketing, have landing pages. I've got a link in the description. It's free, but fill that out. I'll know if you go to that landing page that it's specifically for this giveaway. I won't be spamming you. I will send you emails every once in a while, just letting you know about some things that I think are helpful, things that you, as someone on my channel, very likely to be interested in. But obviously, you can unsubscribe at some point if that's not interesting to you anymore. So that being said, again, come back tomorrow for episode 104, and we'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.